True Hoop TV, we are joined by draft expert Chad Ford. How are you doing, Chad?
Great. Always beautiful here in Hawaii.
I'm a little bit jealous. It is balmy outside, but that is not the topic. The topic is your ever-changing draft board. It turns out that you have a lot of stability at the top. At the top, a lot of stability, but there's some movement below that core.
Yeah, look, Jahlil Okafor has been number one on our board since July, our first big board. Emmanuel Mudiay has been number two since our first big board in July. Karl Anthony Towns has been number three since our first big board. And Kristaps Porzingis has been number four. And really, Kevon Looney of UCLA has been number five since November. And so, yeah, there's a lot of stability. We think about these things as always shifting, but scouts have been pretty set on those guys as the top five guys. The guy that's, for the first time, I think, since July, that's starting to move up to the point where I think he can threaten those guys is D'Angelo Russell out of Ohio State. Russell has just been coming on a terrific, next to Okafor, might be producing the best numbers of any freshman in the country. And what gets scouts really excited about him is that he's 6'5". He can play the two, but they also believe that he could be a point guard at the next level.
Yeah, and it seems that right now, you have Okafor producing like crazy. He's been a dream. He's been incredible. But there's another Dookie who's sliding a little bit. Who is that?
It's Justice Winslow. There's a scrum of a number of wings, including Stanley Johnson out of Arizona, Kelly Oubre out of Kansas, Mario Hezonja out of Croatia. And those four guys have all been considered lottery picks. Somewhere in that 6 to 12 range. And there's been various opinions about who's better, depending on the scouts that you talk to. But Winslow had been winning that battle early on. But he has really struggled shooting the basketball lately. And one stat among all really is glaring right now. He's shooting 12.5% in his 2-point jumpers this season. That's not a mistake. 12.5%. There is not another player in our top 30 that's even close to that number. The closest was Willie Cauley-Stein, who we don't think of as a great shooter at all out of Kentucky, and he's at 29.3%. Winslow's a wing that really needs to shoot the basketball. A lot of scouts compared him to a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist type, and we know Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, not a great shooter, though he's improving this year in Charlotte. He shot 35%. From his 2-point field goals at Kentucky his freshman year. It's dramatically bad. I went through my entire top 60 to see if there was anyone close, and the only other guy that was even close to him was Andrew Harrison out of Kentucky, a guy that's now fallen out of our top 60. And so Winslow, everybody loves his intangibles. They love his NBA body. They love all the little things that he does. But you cannot be an NBA wing and shoot 12.5% on your 2-point field goals.
Yeah, 12.5, that sounds like a bit of a problem. But on the upside, you do have a sleeper. You're going to give us your sneaky sleeper, and we're going to be enlightened because of it. Who is that guy?
Well, a lot of scouts have been traveling down to College Park and looking at Maryland, where there's a couple, actually, Jake Layman and Melo Trimble. But Layman is the guy that really intrigues me because he's got great size for the small forward position. He's an incredible athlete. He's really shooting the basketball well this year. And if you're watching what Chandler Parsons has done in Dallas this year, a lot of similarities between Chandler Parsons as a basketball player and Layman. And I think a lot of scouts are looking at him. He's made a major leap from his sophomore to his junior year. And I think a lot of scouts are looking at him now as possibly being a guy who could end up crashing that first round, that top 30, and could be a very effective small forward in the NBA.